I'm back at it for my favorite segment, Q&A. Got a great question this week from a massage therapist. I would love to be able to do exactly what you say about making $100K per year, working less than 20 hours per week. It all sounds good on paper, but in all honesty, it seems impossible to achieve. I love everything you are teaching and sharing to help massage therapists, but I feel the whole idea of making that much and working less than 20 hours is just giving us false hope. I hope you aren't offended by my question. I would love more than anything to achieve exactly what you say I can be, but the path to it all seems downright daunting. I'm already at my capacity on time and energy, which I know isn't sustainable, so I'd be open to any tips or strategies you have to get me moving towards this impossible goal. In this episode, I share 4 strategies you can start to implement right away to create more freedom, make more money, and get you on the path to being truly undeniable in the injury treatment space. I hope you enjoy the show. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soft Tissue Revolution podcast, where we teach massage therapists a new treatment method that focuses on working smarter, not harder, allowing them to make well over $100,000 per year with less than 20 hours of time per week in the clinic. Dr. Matt Maggio here. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening to the show. Always appreciative of all our downloads, support across the world, across the nation, people that really want to do good work. Back at it for Q&A, my favorite segment. And, I make that announcement, or I describe everything, the idea of like working smarter, not harder, $100,000 per year, less than 20 hours per week. And I finally got a question from somebody, as I said in the intro, that kind of questioned that and tried to call me out a little bit, but in a good way. Like, I wasn't offended. They even said in the question, they're like, I hope you're not offended by what I say. I'm not offended at all. You can say whatever you want. And I get it. It does seem like a pipe dream. It does seem like bullshit. It does seem like a lot of those things. So in this episode, I wanted to really dive into that and give you some strategies and some tactics that can really help you get to that level. And it all begins with, it just starts with belief. Just because everyone does something a certain way doesn't mean you have to do that. And that's what happens a lot in the injury treatment space. Specifically massage therapists. They're like, well, everyone else is spending an hour with somebody. They're spending an hour and a half. I have to do that too. You don't have to do anything. You can be different. This idea of like beliefs and limiting beliefs, they're just stories that we tell ourselves. And we're like, well, that won't work for me. That person is special. Maybe they're shady. Maybe they're greedy, things like that. Like I'm only in it to really help people. But this is what I see is you get in there to help people, but you can't fucking help yourself. You're scraping by, you're having to work extra jobs. You're having to work way more hours. You're sacrificing your body and your health, and you're doing it. You're like, well, I'm righteous. I just want to help people. Fuck that. Like, of course you want to help people, and I want to help people too. But you know what? The market and the world rewards you when you're doing truly amazing fucking work. And this is what happens. If you do good work and you're really fucking good at what you do, you deserve to get paid. So I want you to be a disruptor. Be a fucking disruptor. Do things differently. And what I say and what I teach is totally different than the paradigm that's being taught out there. This whole idea of like 15 or 20 minute sessions and actually getting clients to pay for all their treatment up front, holding them accountable, being a true solutions provider. It makes people uncomfortable because they're very set in their ways. They don't want to stir the pot. They don't want to change shit up, but they're fucking miserable at what they do. They know it's not sustainable. They know their bodies can't hold up, and then they get in a really tough spot. And I always hear the same bullshit excuse that it won't work for them or for you because they aren't a doctor like me. But in all honesty, we've done it, and we've implemented it with other massage therapists across the country, just like you. I'm not here selling bullshit. I'm not giving you some get rich quick scheme or how to rip people off. This is true, genuine, honest shit that actually gets to the root cause and solves people's problems. And this is what the world needs: more problem solvers, less service providers. But you have to believe it's even possible first. If not, then don't even continue listening, because without belief, you're completely fucked. We tell ourselves these stories and these limiting beliefs that, Well, it won't work for me because of this, then this. And we get these biases that are built in that person is different. It won't work for me. But if it's working for them and it's working for other people, obviously it's fucking attainable and you can get there. So what I'm going to do to answer this question is I'm going to go through 4 strategies. 3 of them are tactics that you can implement right away. And the last one is a mindset shift that you must make going forward. These tactics and strategies, they allowed myself, to make well over $250,000 per year in a solo clinic. Just me, nobody else. And I was only doing about 20 hours a week of hands-on treatment time. So you're like, oh, he's bragging, he's doing that. No, I'm just showing you that it's possible. So if I can do $250K, less than 20 hours per week, it isn't that big of a stretch for you to get to that $100K per year with less than 20 hours. So let's jump right into my tactics and see what I can do. So the big thing here, creating more time. People always say that they don't have enough time. I say bullshit. It's not that you don't have enough time. You have priority issues. And what happens is we end up saying yes to so many things, and things that aren't going to benefit us, aren't going to make our business better, aren't going to make our mind better, aren't going to make our body better, aren't going to help us be better. And we say yes to a lot of things and we run out of time. So I have this magical thing that might sound like the most basic shit ever that helped me create more time, more clear headspace, and more focus. I have a consistent bedtime. And I've been doing this now for 5 years. I'm in bed by 8 p.m. every night. And you're like, holy shit, how the fuck can you go to bed at 8 p.m. every night? Because it allows me a hard boundary of where I'm going to be. So if I want to go out to dinner or I want to do something with some friends, we got to go at 5 o'clock because I need to be in bed by 8. What it does is sets boundaries and lets me know that things are important and I can focus. When you have a consistent bedtime and you go to sleep at the same time, and I do this on the weekends too, also Saturday and Sunday, because I want to keep on that rhythm. I want to keep my clock going. The circadian rhythm and all that shit really makes a big difference going forward. So when I have that consistent bedtime, what this does is actually allows me to get up earlier. And I'm usually up every day by like 3:30, maybe 4. I don't set an alarm. I wake up naturally, but there's something truly amazing about that first 2 or 3 hours in the morning when they're undisturbed. You know, I get more shit done from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. than most people get done in an entire day. I focus on things that are important, my training, my learning, my marketing, getting my body right, getting my mind right. There's something really cool that happens. It's called your magic time. And it's about an hour after you wake up where your brain is the most clear and most focused. And it really allows me to get into the day. And you're like, well, I don't want to get up early. I'm like, then don't want to be successful. Don't make excuses that you're not successful. You have to be willing to do things that other people aren't. And going to bed and getting up early and getting some shit done before the world starts going fucking crazy is the best thing you can do. It is totally silent. It is totally quiet in those mornings. And I get so much done. That's how I built up my skills. I built up how I communicate, I practice, I do all those things. So that is my number one success hack across the board. Have a consistent bedtime and understand, you know, what are you doing when you're staying up late? You're probably scrolling social media, watching some bullshit on Netflix. You're really not doing anything productive. Now, when you do that, you have that discipline, and that discipline equals freedom. Number 2, focus on solving one specific problem. You know, are you a jack of all trades or master of none? I talk about this all the time. You need to niche out and be a true specialist in what you do. If you're treating the whole body, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, you can never really be good at what you do. Focus on solving a specific problem. Be the shoulder person, be the neck person, be the knee person, be the plantar fasciitis, be the carpal tunnel person, but be that specialist and that expert in your area. Because when you do that, people are more drawn to experts. They're more drawn to specialists, and they're willing to invest more, pay more, listen more, and stay accountable across the board when you're solving a specific problem. And understand there's plenty of people out there that have that specific problem in your area. And we tend to look at it in more of that like scarcity mindset. Like, oh, well, what if I'm a shoulder expert, what if someone calls with the knee? You don't fucking take on the knee. You only work on shoulder people. And imagine how good you can get when you only have to know 25 to 30% of the body, you can be truly fucking amazing. This is what orthopedic surgeons do. When you have an injury, you go to the orthopedic surgeon. You don't go to a guy that does everything or girl. You go to the person that does that thing, and they do the damn thing every single day. It should be the same exact thing in the injury treatment space. And when you do that, it really narrows your focus, and you get so fucking amazing and so good at what you do. And you build up that reputation in your area as the go-to person for that injury. Instead of trying to do more, do less and do better at that less thing. And you'll be amazed at where you can go. Number 3, learning and utilizing a dedicated sales process. Now, I talk about sales and money all the time. People are like, well, sales are dirty. I don't want to do sales. I feel shady like a used car salesman. Bullshit. If you have a truly amazing product that can I said truly twice, change somebody's life for the best and keep them away from pain pills, injections, and surgeries that could fucking kill them, you have a duty and an obligation to sell your fucking ass off. Once again, you have a duty and obligation to sell your ass off. And if you're not good at sales, it ain't going to go anywhere. And you know what beats any like sales tactics or shadiness? It's conviction. It's conviction in what you do and truly believing in what you do. You're so fucking amazing at what you do. You know when that person's in front of you, you're going to solve that specific problem, and it comes out. And conviction is contagious. And that person knows, I am in the right place to get this shit fixed. You are an expert at what you do. And then in the sales process, you hold them accountable. The only thing that holds people accountable is money. I teach this in my trainings. I teach this in my coaching. The idea of getting the clients to pay for all their treatments up front, anywhere from 8 to 10 to 12. What that does is keeps them accountable, allows you to do the things that you need to do. They're not just focusing simply on how they feel. They're able to see the function, able to see that they're making progress, getting into the right place. And that is key, because the treatments work, but it's holding that person accountable. Those people that are coming in and they want a one-off visit and think you're going to create a fucking miracle in 2 or 3 visits. No, it's going to take time. The injury took time to get in there, and it's going to take time to fix. And when you hold them accountable and they pay for it, they're going to come in, they're going to go through the process. And if they're not, then you need to tell them, fuck off, and I'm not going to be able to help you. But you have to hold the clients accountable, and you have to sell your ass off. Number 4, this is the mindset one. You need to have absolute ownership of your life. What does that mean? Don't be a fucking victim. We live in this world where victimhood is rampant. It's overly used by people. And we suffer as humans as this idea of called like blame bias, where the idea is that like, if I'm not successful, it's somebody else's fault. It's the government. It's the licensing board. It's the weather. It's the economy. No, it's you. And when you can internally look at like, what am I fucking up? What am I not doing? How am I not showing up? And fix that. Take full responsibility for where you are and where you want to go. And nothing beats anxiety and stress more than action, but really having that internal talk with yourself. Like, am I the best at what I can be? Am I putting the time in? Am I showing up right? Am I putting good shit in my body? Am I putting good shit in my brain? If not, no wonder you're not fucking successful. Then you just want to play the victim. You're like, oh, well, COVID hit and da-da-da. Bullshit. There's lots of people that are successful that have always been successful because they take absolute ownership of their life. So just to recap, go to bed every night, same time, even weekends. Number 2, solve a specific problem. Number 3, sell your ass off and hold your clients accountable. And number 4, take full ownership of your life. So I want to leave you with this. There's so much mediocrity and so much just bullshit out there that people aren't truly great. And it takes time to be truly great. You're not going to learn some hack or some trick overnight that's going to instantly make you better. But when you dedicate each day to getting better, getting 1% better per day, you'll be amazed at what you can become, because you need the number one thing for selling, marketing, treatment that everyone misses is you need to get so damn good that they can't ignore you. Once again, get so damn good that they can't ignore you. In all honesty, I can help you on that journey. This is what I do. This is what I do and how I help people. I show them how to get their shit in order, how to deliver world-class treatment, how to get paid accordingly, how to communicate effectively to the client that they are making progress. So if you haven't even at least got our free training yet, go get that. In all honesty, it's better than any other shit out there that people are paying paid courses for. I've looked at a lot of other things and it's the same shit just regurgitated all over again. It's not really changing anything. It's just doing the same shit all over again, and that's not going to get you anywhere. So if you're ready, reach out. But it all begins with the belief that you can do it. Because without belief, you'll never grow. That's all I got for you guys. Appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Thanks so much for listening. If you want help on the path to being able to double your income, all while working 50% less and being taken seriously as a healthcare provider, I have some great resources for you. Number 1, get access to our free training modules and introduction to my system, the Peak Method. Number 2, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Soft Tissue Revolution. Links to all of this can be found in the show notes. Lastly, if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star review and share it with others that you know it could help.